Well, welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video, and today I wanted to go over some notable CGC 9.8 sales for this week, and this past week I mean. And this is something I kind of normally do just almost on a day-to-day basis, searching completed listings on eBay and seeing what kind of CGC 9.8 sales there have been in the last week. And you know, as an exercise, it really helps you just kind of stay on top of what the market's doing and some of the prices for some of the issues you bought, and also seeing some of the prices for the issues you want to buy. So then you just kind of know what prices to pay and where the market is with some of the issues you got too. So I find it really helpful just to kind of do that on my own. But you know, I'm thinking probably Sunday, today being Sunday, I think every Sunday this might be a good video to do, just to go over some notable CGC prices that have sold in the last week. And you know, certainly if you're out there trying to look at some of these books that are trying to buy some of these books in CGC 9.8, then you can get the prices and you know, have a little more knowledge about the market. So all my prices I'm mentioning here are just from eBay. So didn't look on like Comic Link or anything like that. I think eBay, just with the completed listings search, it makes it really easy to kind of do some quick research. So start with kind of two hot comics. One I actually have here is the Teen Titans 12, first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs, first full appearance of the Batman Who Laughs. This one being in the first print here. So Teen Titans 12, checking on eBay. One sold, I think it was on Tuesday early this week, for $330 US, and that's a little bit lower than I've seen them reach sort of right when kind of the Batman Who Laughs #1 came out. I think that was almost kind of the peak hype, where I think I saw one, this one went for $330, and I believe that was like $375, $380 I saw one go for. I'm not too sure if there's been any higher. I didn't do a kind of a search back too long. But yeah, this one just went early this week for $330 US, and that's, you know, it's still quite high for a modern day issue, but I think that's not too bad. $330 for a really hot first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs. Doesn't get any hotter as far as like you know, a hot DC character that's new in the modern age. So $330 for that. Another really hot book, one that I do not have, Ultimate Fallout #4, First Miles Morales. One sold earlier this week for $345 US. And again, these are all CGC 9.8 sales. So $345, that is also coming down quite a lot from, you know, certainly when they were selling around Into the Spider-Verse. So that, you know, at $345 now, I think Into the Spider-Verse they were easily going for over $400 and even higher. So that kind of gives you an idea about a lot of the stuff we talk about on this channel about, you know, maybe avoiding some of the comics that have a lot of hype going on, that have a lot of pop culture events going on at the time, because those prices get inflated and they, you know, they start coming down pretty quick once the hype subsides. So a couple other books. So there was Ultimate Fallout, $345 US for CGC 9.8, just earlier this week sold. So that's coming down a bit. Hulk #340, really popular Todd McFarlane classic cover with Wolverine and Hulk. 9.8 white pages sold for $437.10. $437.10, and that's, I generally see these sell really easily, consistently for $399. That's a lot of the times it's like you see these 1 week auctions for Incredible Hulk 340 and it's like $399, $404, $402, $396. This one a little bit more expensive at $437 because it was perfectly centered, had sort of the Todd McFarlane signatures right on the side in the perfect position. They weren't like kind of folding over the spine. I actually should have brought out a 340, but I didn't. I have two of them. But this one was really pristine, so I could see why, you know, got the extra kind of $30 to $40 there. A couple others. There was earlier this week a Vengeance of Bane, first appearance of Bane in the CGC 9.8, that sold for $238.50. That's not a bad price. I think that book's come down quite a bit from. And I don't know this personally, but I've had people tell me that Vengeance of Bane has come down since The Dark Knight Rises, which makes complete sense. The book probably got really hot during that time. Now at $238.50 for a CGC 9.8, not too bad at all. Another one that sold was Hulk number 377, that really popular first Professor Hulk, and that sold for $125. That's a pretty good, I've thought about buying that possibly. It's a pretty good affordable issue, one that I know well from collecting when I was younger, growing up. That you know, the green Hulk cover, or the green cover with the gray Hulk on the front, first Professor Hulk. That's a really popular issue, Hulk 377, $125, not too bad. So a issue I talked about in one of my other videos recently is Venom Deadpool What If crossover, as being like a really popular Venom issue and Deadpool issue for sure. And two actually sold during the week, and kind of interesting to see the prices. One sold as a buy it now. They had it, or sorry, as a best offer. They had it as a $375 or best offer. So it did sell. They don't tell you the best offer prices, so I'm thinking it was $375 or best offer. So probably sold for about $350 American. And also though, another one sold for $500 right on the dot. So yeah, same issue, CGC 9.8. One sold for $350, one sold for $500. So that, you know, you can get into the difference where, and one was sort of a best offer, and you know, the other one just being a buy it now, straight at $500 you can offer on it. And that's kind of the discrepancy I see a lot with issues between like a weekly auction and a buy it now price. So, you know, buy it now, that's say $500 or $600. Such as this Venom Deadpool, usually in a weekly auction will sell for about $350 to $400. Whereas a buy it now, the full retail price, I guess, would be about $500 to $600. So that's kind of, you see that with a lot of issues, basically. A lot of, you know, if someone wants the issue right now, and I've certainly been guilty of this, and I do it, you know, quite often because, you know, sometimes I just want to pay the extra $50 or $100 for an issue that I want right now. Like Batman Beyond #1 comes to mind, paying about $450 for that one. I've been looking for it for months and months and months, and there's never, I haven't seen one cheaper than $450, but I bet if you were very patient, there's probably one or two or three of those on eBay a year that would sell in an auction for about $350. But you know, $450 to $500 kind of being the full retail price. Then even those Batman Beyonds, people are asking for $600, $650 for that one. So yeah, the Venom Deadpool, you know, one went for $350, one went for $500 in the same week. Marvel Secret Wars #8, another the origin of the black symbiote in a black costume, went for $250 in the CGC 9.8. Sandman #1, I saw two of them sell in the CGC 9.8. One was $634.99 and the other was $574.99. And that's a pretty cool key issue to kind of keep on the lookout, and certainly if you're into, you know, the sort of horror type comics like Sandman and things like that, that's a really good one to have actually. So yeah, one sold for $634.99, another one sold for $574.99. Batman 635 is a pretty interesting book right now. Obviously the first appearance is Jason Todd as Red Hood, and that book was really hot, you know, I would say about 2 years ago now, really hot, people paying, you know, almost up to $400 US for that book. So one sold this week, Batman 635 CGC 9.8, for about $200. And I say about two because it was posted for $215 or best offer, and it sold as a best offer, so I'm thinking about $200. They had it posted for $215. And this book has come down a lot. It really sort of rose up as a kind of a cult following key a little bit, and in the CGC 9.8 the prices got definitely around to that like $350 to $400 price a couple years ago. So now back down to $215, and that's kind of one of the things that I sort of worry about sometimes when you're buying modern issues, like even like a Teen Titans 12 right now. You know, such a cool character, and so is Jason Todd as Red Hood is cool too, but with a really new book, you know, sometimes those books that are reaching that $350 to $400 range that are really new and really hot, over time, it almost takes years at times, but a lot of those times those will sort of come back to this price, which, you know, that $200 to $250-ish range. Another one that was cool that sold, X-Men number 4, the new X-Men series, the first Omega Red, and that sold for $118. That actually is a pretty cool one, and that's why I like doing these exercises kind of myself, is every now and then you see an issue that's kind of cheap but really cool, first Omega Red appearance, and he's a really cool villain, for 118 bucks. I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. And honestly, I think I'm going to add that X-Men 4 to my list, because, you know, for 120 bucks to get like first Omega Red and really cool Jim Lee cover too. Yeah, so I thought that was a pretty good deal. Another good deal I saw was Amazing Spider-Man number 252 in a newsstand edition, and that's kind of one I sort of want. I have the direct edition there, and you know, if the newsstand edition kind of popped up in Canada and was a really good price, I'd maybe take a stab at that. But Amazing Spider-Man 252 newsstand edition sold for, it was a $475 or best offer, and it sold. So I'm thinking about $450 it sold for. And that is a pretty good price, I would say. I bought mine last year, and I believe it was more than that. It was definitely more than that, and it was in an auction too, and it's a direct edition. And you know, this book, I knew I was probably going to end up paying a little bit extra because the Venom movie was sort of out, and there was quite a lot of hype about the symbiotes in Venom at the time. But it was like it was a 1-week auction, so I thought I'd maybe get a good deal, and I thought I got a decent deal. Because, you know, Amazing Spider-Man 252, you do see people trying to sell that for like $700-800 American. So this one selling at $450 for the newsstand. I think that's a really good buy. Whoever bought that for $450, a newsstand 252, I think that's a good buy. Next one is one that sold earlier this week too, Uncanny X-Men number 141. That's on my list in the CGC 9.8. I really want one of those to go with my 142 Uncanny X-Men. That sold for $310, and that was like an auction type sale. So that I think that's going to be one of the cheaper prices that you're going to find for an Uncanny X-Men number 141. You know, first Days of Future Past. I think that book, I've seen it go. I've seen Uncanny X-Men 141 and 142 CGC 9.8 in a pack go for like $800, and both of them together. And that, yeah, that is quite a good markup if you're, you know, looking at this Uncanny X-Men 141 for $310, and you can pick up a 142 for about $200. So this being about $510, I saw both of them together sell for $800. So that I think is a really good deal for Uncanny X-Men 141. Yeah, it was in the United States. Too bad I didn't see it ahead of time, because I may have took a stab at that. Last notable CGC 9.8 sale for this week that I saw when I was doing my research is a Batman Adventures number 12, first Harley Quinn. It was a new case one, a really nice copy, sold for $1,799 American. And that's a really collectible book, certainly one I do not have. And yeah, again, you know, me being in Canada, it's a little bit tougher to act on some of these auctions because shipping in general is usually about $50 to $60 on these CGC books to Canada. Plus there's like an import fee charge at the border. Plus they possibly rip open the box and damage things. And so I don't really like to buy really expensive books from the United States if I can't. So it makes it a little bit harder for me, but Batman Adventures number 12 for $1,799 I think is actually a pretty good deal. That book's pretty hard to find in the 9.8s. First appearance of Harley Quinn, you know, super iconic. I think that'll be over time, and I'm sure Harley Quinn will be in multiple movies in the next 10-20 years, so I think that's a really good buy. Okay, so that's pretty much all some of the main ones I wanted to share with you guys, just doing my research. And again, this is something I kind of do on my own time to stay on top of the CGC 9.8 market. That's kind of what we do at this channel, is buying, you know, CGC 9.8s from the 80s and 90s, all those key issues, and you know, so many key issues from that range. In the 9.8, it's a really good exercise to stay on top of the market. You do this for, you know, a couple weeks. For most issues that you want, you'll end up knowing in general the price of, or you know, the good price for it, and you'll know, like, you know, how much not to overpay as well. So doing this exercise, I think, really can help you save money when you're buying comics and help you get kind of the best price for some of these CGC 9.8s. Because yeah, these CGC 9.8s and some of these issues, they're not just available all the time. So it really helps to kind of keep on top of the prices, because for maybe weeks or months at a time there might not be an Amazing Spider-Man 252 for a decent price at all, and then it pops up, and it's good to know that, oh, like last week or last month one sold for this much, and then you kind of have an idea, and you won't overpay for issues essentially. Okay, so yeah, I think this kind of exercise, I'm probably going to make it a Sunday thing. So every Sunday, just look at the past week of notable CGC 9.8 sales, and I think that'll help me and you just stay on top of the market and make sure we don't overpay for stuff. So thanks so much for watching the video today, guys. If you haven't already, please join the team and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to get all the notifications. But thanks for watching the video today, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.